Big time. It was the first time in my life that I actually felt a feeling of being depressed and being anxious. And I've had friends who've dealt with it before, but you know, going into it, whenever I spoke about it to them, it was always one of those things. They're like, "Ah, you're just overthinking it, you know. Like, oh, guys, like, what are you doing? Like, just stop thinking about it. I'm sure it'll blow over." And it was the funniest thing when it hit me, because it's like you're so helpless in the situation. Like, you know, you try like put on a fake smile, like even in front of your parents, like, "Yeah, I'm fine, I'm fine. I was about to be overseas, but I'm stuck here for the whole year. I'm fine." Like, you know, you put on this fake front that everything's all good. But yeah, for the longest time throughout that year, at least the first half of lockdown, I was very depressed. Like I said, I really thought things were going my way, and then it just didn't go my way. And yeah, halfway through the year, I actually had to go to a therapist. It was actually like, it wasn't necessarily my thing, the whole therapy thing, but I actually ended up going to a therapist to talk about a few things, because even leaving out me not being able to travel overseas, just things kept on getting worse and worse, and I was just taking losses on top of losses, and it didn't seem like a win was in sight in any way. So yeah, it definitely did have a really major impact on my mental health, big time.
Ja, ek het baie negatief geraak, want ek was heeltyd by my ouers en ek moes heeltyd na hulle luister. Ek kon nie meer my eie ding doen nie. Ek kon nie uitgaan nie. Ek kon letterlik net met hulle praat, soos in persoon. So ek dink dit was maar, ja, my social life het heeltemal gedrein en dit was vir my baie erg.
So omdat ek 'n baie ekstroverte persoon is dit vir my baie moeilik gewees om nou ewe skielik te isoleer in 'n plek van waar dit net jou gesin is om jou. So dit was vir my baie moeilik gewees, want ek soek heeltyd my energie van mense af. En dit was vir my baie groot challenge gewees, want ek like dit baie om soos uit te gaan na mense toe en alles, en om ewe skielik net so terug te kom in 'n gesin, en was vir my baie moeilik. So in die begin het dit my baie negatief gemaak op 'n tyd, maar verder aan het ek maar geleer van my familie, die quality time en alles het toe eventually so stelselmatig beter geword.
No, I don't know, I like, when I'm at home, I just like spending time on my own, being in my own space, maybe reading or just walking around alone outside, playing with my brothers, or, you know, just spending quality time. So yeah, overall just being in nature. I really love being in nature, so I would say that's what I do.
I had one subject, visual arts, so there was a lot of times like art projects that we did, and the drawing and the painting really helped me to just keep my mind off of things and just relax and have some alone time. Yeah, so that really helped.
So yeah, actually that was a part of it. I did start like a fitness routine regime at the beginning of lockdown actually, and I had some pretty good progress with that, and I did start my gym membership again later on in the year, but I actually didn't start dealing with it in the right way. I started dealing with it with starting a relationship that I shouldn't have started with the girl that I did like, but it wasn't healthy. She was one of my best mate's exes. Really not a good story. I started vaping more, and I got seriously addicted to nicotine, and like I'd fall asleep with it in my hands sometimes, just lying in bed watching YouTube. It was a very unhealthy lifestyle. I really closed up towards my parents. Like I didn't let them in on my life, didn't let them know what was happening. And I didn't surround myself with good people who were a good influence in my life. Drinking just became just a normal thing for me. And I ran away from home for a week, and I stayed at the one friend's house. It wasn't good. But yeah, that's how I dealt with it.
I just did whatever I liked. I liked drawing, so I drew a lot. I did dance as a sport, so I exercised. I tried to train myself as much as I could. I kept myself busy the whole time, and yeah, even in between schoolwork, I still you know, I baked a bit, cooked a little bit, just kept myself busy with stuff I love. Yeah.
Well, I can tell you one thing, I did not deal with it well. Yeah, you see, I drank myself to a pulp, fell straight back into drug addiction, and I didn't deal with it well for 6 months because I was just like, yes, I did not know what to do with myself. It's the most insane thing, especially where I live. I live in like a surface town, so beach is like 100 meters away from me and I can't go. And I'm seeing like the waves are pumping and I'm like, oh my flipping word, but I just can't go there because I might get, I might get caught in the trunk. So like things like that, and I'm a very adventurous person, and for me to be stuck in the four walls of my house 24/7, confined only within my family, and it was just, yeah, it was heartbreaking, and yeah, I dealt with it very badly for the first 6 months, I'd say. At the end though of the gap year, at the end of the lockdown, coming to the end of the year, I did improve quite a lot when it came to just doing fitness and stuff like that. But yeah, in general, I did not deal with it well at all.
Wel, ek het definitief geleer dat dit nie die einde van die wêreld is om alleen te wees nie. Dit was vir my, ek het altyd gedink ek het dit nodig om mense te wees, om energie te kry, maar ek het definitief eienskap van myself ontdek dat dit nie altyd vir my nodig is om mense te wees, om 'n positiewe mindset te hê.
Ek het geleer ek's 'n baie lui mens. Ek het agtergekom ek maak alles gaan net oor myself. En ek het deur dit gekom, maar net soos my ouers het baie met my gepraat, hulle het baie gefight. Maar ons het maar deur dit gewerk as 'n familie en dit my na ruk het dit my gelukkig gemaak, want dit is beter as 'n familie ons het meer oor die weg gekom na lockdown. Want toe is ons almal in mekaar se space en alles, so ek het my familie eintlik leer ken. So dit was, ja, dit maak my nou gelukkig, want nou is ek bietjie closer met my familie. Ja.
Sure. I really did learn, and it like cemented in my mind, that if I do not enjoy something that I'm doing, I really am not going to put effort into it. And if it's not my passion, if it's not what I want to do, I'm not going to care, which is really not great, but it's a good thing for one day when I'm wanting to work in the industry that I'm wanting to work in, that I know that I can really put my mind to it. Also that I do sometimes like my alone time, that sometimes I can over-socialize. I used to think of myself as quite the big extrovert, but sometimes alone time is good. And yeah, last year I didn't really learn much about myself. I just had more maturing. I had a lot of maturing that I went through. I learned a lot of lessons last year. So yeah.
Yeah, I had multiple places of input of how to deal with mental health and things like that. And for the most case, it was like medical practitioners and things like that. And mostly a lot of beach videos, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, there was definitely a lot of input and a lot of resources available.
I definitely think schools can do a little bit more. For me personally, they could do it by just like adding a bit more about mental health into something like LO, or just having, I know it would be hard, but just like trying to figure out what's going in different students' heads. I mean, because a lot of the times people hide it. So for me, if you can really narrow down or build a sort of a place where people can trust to share their stories, I think that would be a big step in moving forward. So for me personally, I think I don't have all the answers. I mean, I'm 19 years old, but I think there can definitely, some things can be done to improve the mental health situation in general.
Not really, but I've like friends and to hear about everyone dealing with mental health and depression, and but you're not like really went that deep into it. Yeah.
All right. And do you think that that schools can teach young people a bit more about mental health issues?
Yeah, I think that would really help them, kind of like to place them so they know where they are and how to deal with it. Yeah, I think that would be good.
Ek weet nie, hulle kan meer mense in ag neem, want daar is kinders wat sukkel en daar is mense wat daai issues het, maar skole hanteer almal presies dieselfde. En ek dink skole moet meer soos inzoom op kinders en die rede vind hoekom kinders so is.
I think I would say that we don't know what we're really doing. So I think not force us, but give us more guidance. I think that would be appreciated. But that's out of my own point of view. So
about young people, I would say, fruits of the spirit. Like be gentle with your children, have patience with them, self-control, joy, all of those things. I mean, if they could, what do you call it? Toepas? Apply. If they can apply it. Also to youngsters and just, live by that, that would also be great, yeah.
Ek wil ook hê ons stem moet saak maak. Ons het nie vreeslike groot sê nie en almal sê altyd vir ons weet niks nie, ons is nog jonk, maar ek sê ook daar's party van ons wat ook so baie soos hulle weet en so aan. Ek wil ook net hê ons stemme moet bietjie meer gehoor word en so aan. En hulle verstaan nie ook altyd hoe ons bedoel en hoe ons dinge experience.
At the end of the day, all we want is to be respected and for people to listen to us at the end of the day, and I know like we're still young, we still have a lot to learn, but I feel like sometimes we have valuable things to say, and that some adults, well, most adults should just like listen sometimes to what we as children have to say. It sounds a bit like cocky saying it, but sometimes you can learn something new even from someone who's younger than you, and that's the big thing for me, just like be open to what we have to say sometimes, and yeah.
Yes, you see, I don't want to give some cliche advice, like you can do it. Like I don't know. It's a weird question because in this world's always changing. Nothing's certain, and I think you gotta have a contingency plan for everything. Nothing's set in stone. I think don't throw all of your, what's that saying?
Eggs in one basket.
That one right there, thank you. Yeah, definitely don't do that. And just have faith in yourself that things will eventually work out. Because I seriously did not think things were going to work out. I didn't think I was going to get accepted into this program either. I thought I was going to be stuck inside my town for another year. And eventually it did work out, and I still do have faith that I will go overseas and I will work on a super yacht and I'll make Span cash. Like I still have faith for that. So don't give up on your dreams. It might be a little bit of a speed bump, this whole situation with this pandemic, but yeah, don't let it kill your dreams at all.
You should be able to open up. It helps, especially being able to open up to people who will be there for you and support you. And you should rely on being able to create your own happiness and not need people to create that for you.